everyone, welcome back to Funniest People Pod. I'm Peter, this is Todd.
Hey everyone.
And we are coming to you live from the middle of Hollywood, wherever the middle is, at Third Wheel Podcast Studio. Third Wheel Podcast Studio, make sure you check it out if you want to record a podcast in person.
Just go to the middle of Hollywood.
Check out Third Wheel Podcast Studio. And thank you so much for checking out this episode today. We have Arijana Ramic, and oh my gosh, what a great guest.
So funny.
A door guy at the Comedy Store. We get into that a little bit, and referred to us from the fantastic season 1 guest, Cat Bird.
Yeah, Orion Levine recommended Cat Bird, Arijana Ramic. I love this train that we keep going. So I think it's really fun.
The family tree of funniest people you've never heard of pod. We talk about the Comedy Store. We talk about her Bosnian roots. We talk briefly about her coming from Seattle. And she's only been in LA for 2 years. And to be a door guy in that time is absolutely spectacular and impressive. And she talks about, her athlete's mentality of like psyching yourself up, getting ready for a performance, and then the come down afterwards. And it's a great listen for anybody in the arts or that enjoys entertainment.
And she got into her disdain for white crowds in West LA. So I felt a little attacked, but I just kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, I know. She was Santa Monica.
She was coming for me. Yeah.
She was like white guys in Santa Monica, and then
she's like Brian, and I was like, oh, okay, at least that's 2 syllables. Normally it's Chad or Brad, which is a little too close.
Todd, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh yeah, she's great, and I think y'all are gonna love this episode. One thing that I love about this episode is I get to wear our merch right here.
There
it's the FP podcast.
Looking
Funniest
good.
People you've never heard of podcast, and we got this merch from this season's sponsor, Bamco.
Bamco.
Yeah.
So Bamco is the place you need to go for all your merchandise needs. If you're a business, if you're a company that needs to get your name out there, you can create sweatshirts like this, hats like this, whatever you need to spread the word about how amazing you are to customers, clients. Go to bamco.net.
Bamco.
Go to bamco.net.
Bamco.
I like to get the website in clean before Peter screams. It's a give and take.
I'm always screaming. Just ask my neighbors.
Actually, you talk about that when you used to scream in the car before a set.
That's right. Yeah, just got to let the energy out in some way. This episode, though, filled with energy, filled with fun. And thank you so much for checking it out. And hey, one last thing. If you're looking for more exclusive content, what you can do is check us out on Patreon. Go over there for some exclusive videos and some audio, and it's going to be fantastic. So stay here for now. After the episode, go to Patreon and then find out where
You're
Todd
really
lives
bossy today. You're really like planning out their whole day, dude.
Yeah.
Just
finish making that bed.
Yeah.
Get the kids to school.
Yeah.
Then find out where Todd lives specifically.
Yeah.
Go to his place.
Yeah. Then go to the center of Hollywood.
The center of Hollywood. Also, if you're on our Instagram right now, but just by chance, buy one of these hoodies.
And then go down and like all of our pictures.
Like and subscribe. And
comment.
Yeah, start a fight with somebody in the comments.
Yeah.
Engagement's big. But engaging with this episode is very simple. All you need to do is continue to listen. So thanks so much for tuning in. Here is our chat with Arijana. Here she is. Holy cow. Welcome back, podcast friends. This is Funniest People Pod. My name is Peter Murphy. I hope I'm saying that right. And today our guest is Arijana Ramic. Arijana, great comedian, a stand-up, and just overall funny person.
Oh my God,
Arijana, how you doing
thank
today?
I'm good. We just jumped right in. We
Yeah,
were like, it's all about the GOG.
We were talking GOG. Todd in the outfield. Todd, how's it going?
Yeah.
You look great in your sweatshirt.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm rocking the Funniest People merch. This is our merch. Like I'm a professional wrestler. You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that. I really do love that. I think it's so crazy when people have merch of their own face, though, and then they wear it.
That doesn't work, right?
That's
Hold on, I need to
crazy.
make a phone call and cancel an order.
You need to cancel the Todd hats.
We're here to promote, so if you want to look into camera 3 and
Oh.
give them your Venmo or whatever situation you got going on.
It's just
Yes.
ARIJANA-RAMIC.
Donations welcome.
Donations
yeah, so
welcome.
many donations
And suggestions.
Yeah, and honestly, just leave me a suggestion in the bio, or what is it called, the message of the Venmo. Yeah,
and you know
why
what?
not?
For me, if you want to comment on any of my social media and just give me like a skincare routine, just top to bottom, bedtime routine, something
you have
good.
great skin. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a whole glam team. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
That's why I was 30 minutes late.
That's where most of our budget goes.
It's that time of the month. I had to shower.
Now, are you using hyaluronic acid?
I am, but only
Okay.
twice a month.
Good for okay.
Is that too much?
I think you could do once a week.
A week.
Yeah, because it just
Ooh.
keeps your skin plump and fresh and hydrated.
Let me ask you this. So
Yeah.
that's a great tip. Great
You're
tip.
so welcome.
Hot
And
tip.
that one's free.
I heard they're testing men's birth control. Have you guys heard about this? Yes. Okay, only I've heard the women, by the way. Only they've ever heard about it. I'm against it. I was pissed when I found out. Like, do you guys know what birth control form the men are gonna get? A lotion. I was shaking, you guys. I was like, the men are gonna get a lotion? I was like sick. I was like, do you know what women have to go through for birth control, you guys? Do you know? We have to get like invasive IUDs or take pills every day that make us want to kill ourselves. Or worse, give us butt-knee, which is butt acne, in case you don't know, okay? I can't sit right now is how I'm doing, okay? And they're gonna get a lotion. The men are gonna get a lotion. I was like, great. I was like, you think I trust that any man is gonna use a men's birth control lotion? I'm like, the only way a men's birth control lotion would work is if it came in a 3-in-1 shampoo, okay? Where it's like hair, body, and dick, okay? And then the junior line is just an Axe body spray, you know? That's what it's gonna be. And I know I'm talking a lot of crap about men, but it's all valid.
Someone that's seen you pre-show, during the show, after the show is a past guest who referred us to you, the
Okay.
fantastic Kat Bird.
Oh,
and
my
we're gonna take
angel.
I know she's great.
The
And we're gonna
best.
take a quick look at a clip of her referring you.
Okay.
All right, and you were referred to us from our friend Orion Levine. Is there a comedian or writer or creative or artist out there that you would want to be on this show?
Yes, one of my dear friends, she is wonderful comic, Arijana Ramic. She is literally, yes, she's so.
Are they a door person at the comedy
They
store?
are.
Okay,
yes,
great. Yeah.
Yes. Very talented, just such a unique voice in the community. She's done so well. And yeah, I think that she just needs to be seen and heard, and really talented writer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Kat. I love you, Kat. That's so nice.
Isn't that kind?
It's
Isn't
so
that nice to hear?
Yes.
And do you have anything nice to say about Kat?
I love Kat. I think Kat is one of the best comics in LA. Like, genuinely. Like, the first time I met her, I was kind of like mad.
Oh, that's an incredible compliment. Because let me
Yeah.
say, I was at anytime I'm at a show and
Yeah.
someone does something so unexpected or so like great, I'm in the back and I'm like, damn it.
No, it really
You know what I
is
mean?
in a good way, in
Yes.
a positive way, because it's like I met her and then I saw her go up and I really liked her. And then I found out how not long she's been doing it. And I'm just like, oh, you are so good for
Yeah.
like 3 years in, maybe. Like,
Oh, good for
That's
her.
insane. That's insane. When I think about the jokes I was doing 3 years in, I'm like, oh, everyone should have told me to quit. Like, do you know what I mean? And she's so good. She works so hard. She writes for like 2.5 hours every day.
Yeah.
It's truly like, I just admire her so much and I love her so much. And she's so phenomenal and talented. And then also just a sweetheart. Like,
Yeah.
on top of that, like, I've never met anyone who doesn't like her. So
Yeah, very cool, very
Yeah.
kind person.
Yeah.
And then, you talk about your time in the game. You come from Seattle.
Yeah.
So did you
Yeah.
start stand up in Seattle? What's
I
that like?
did, yeah. It was really good when I first started. It was kind of like you could do like a few mics a night or a few shows a week, and you got a lot of stage time to like feature for people.
Oh.
And then kind of like after COVID and stuff, I think a lot of like our main club closed down, which was kind of devastating. Which it was like the shittiest place in the world, by the way. But I don't know if I can swear.
No, you can
but
swear.
edit that out.
Yeah.
But it was like, when you love you love and hate a place at the same time. It was sort of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that closed, and then a few other like clubs tried to pop up, but we don't
Quote,
have like
unquote.
traditional clubs in Seattle, in my
Okay.
opinion. Like,
What do you mean?
like when I think of clubs, I think of like the San Francisco scene and how they kind of have a development system, and then people kind of work their way up through the system, and they get to do like a hosting thing, and then they get to open, and then they get to feature, and you build relationships with the bookers. Up there, a lot of the rooms are run by comics, and no offense,
Sure.
it's just a different thing when it's
Right.
like someone who did comedy for a while, and now they're kind of just like, I don't want to say washed up, but it's like they're not making money off of being funny. They're making money off of running shows.
Yeah.
And they become the gatekeepers, and I think it kind of ruins comedy a little bit.
I agree. You see that in LA with people
Yeah.
that do hard bringers, like
Yeah.
hard bringer in the sense of like, if you're not bringing 7 people to the show, you're not performing at all. And
Which is so crazy, by the way. I've never done a bringer show. I've just
Good.
refused.
Good.
And I know that's like from a place of privilege, but I cannot believe how many bringer shows there are in LA. Like, that's
Yeah.
so insane to me.
yeah, people that do show or produce shows like what I'm describing are
Yeah.
incredibly pathetic.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It really is.
Yeah.
It's truly.
Come
no,
at
it
me.
is.
Come
There's-
at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What are they going to do?
Are there
Not book you
specific
on for
clubs
10
that we
people?
can talk
Yeah.
about where this
There-
happens?
Yeah.
out of necessity, I imagine it happens at every club, whether I'm aware of it or not.
Sure. Some outside produced show or something.
Yeah,
well,
but
yeah.
those people's names aren't even worth mentioning. So
Yeah,
let's
no,
not even
truly.
invoke them.
Yeah.
But
So I'll just cut to their pictures.
find me in the streets. I got plenty
Yeah,
to say to
that's
you
great.
about it. But good, and you know what?
Yeah.
That's part of like setting up boundaries and creating like a healthy
Mm-hmm.
work balance, because we are living in an era which is really interesting because where you work at the Comedy Store as a door guy,
Yeah.
it's just called door guy, right? Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm not offended.
right, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Maybe I should be. I don't know. I'm not.
Well,
like,
I
I
don't
don't
either.
care. I don't really. I'm not worried about that right now.
But you're a door guy, Kat's a door guy, and we're living in this era where the first female door guy was hired and is still working there as a door guy, right? So like, for you, what do you like? What sort of shows do you look to do? And then like, what's the vibe there at the Comedy Store? For opportunities for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's hard to. I guess I'll frame it this way. Like, I was really happy and like honored to be selected as a door guy, but as soon as I got it, I just, said to myself, like, okay, you got to do as many spots as you can outside of this place.
Sure.
Because I love the store so much. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very appreciative for the stage time there, but it's one place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't maybe mean something in other cities and other scenes. And I think that you become a good comic by doing as many different rooms as possible and going on the road and doing different shows. So for me, it was always important, like, just do as many shows as possible everywhere.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't want to get pigeonholed into just being like a store comic, so to speak,
Sure.
because I see a lot of people who, even paid regulars who, they don't do shows anywhere else. And to
Yeah.
me, that's my worst fear of like, okay, so you do like a Comedy Store show once a week or once a month and that's it.
That's a really interesting thing
Yeah.
to bring up, because this is something that I'm focused on. It's creating it a practice. Like,
Yeah.
maybe door guy's a goal, and just to use as an example, not referencing you or
Yeah.
anybody, but like you get to that goal and you get to that finish line, and then you kind of like
You get complacent.
you get complacent, but rather than stand on top of the mountain for 10 minutes and then go down it, it's
Yeah.
a practice that you continue to do, right?
Yeah.
And like when you're talking about performing anywhere or everywhere, taking those opportunities, except if it's a bringer show,
Yeah. Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're keeping that same consistency that got you to that level, and
Yeah.
that's hard work.
Yeah, I think it's also like, in an ideal world for me, I would get past because I'm doing so well in my career elsewhere. Like,
Yeah.
I think the goal should not just be to get past at the store. I think it should be that you're doing so well that you can't even submit avails because you're so busy. Like,
Yeah.
that should be your actual goal. You know what I mean? And I think it's really hard because it feels like anything that's a little bit exclusive is more coveted, right? And I'm not gonna lie, this store is probably one of the coolest clubs in the country, right? Like people go there and hang out, and it's a fun fucking hang. You know what I mean? Like it just is. It is what it is. The photographers are amazing. Like the sound guys have been there for years. They are amazing. The servers are cool. Like, you know, and so it's just this place that feels really special. So I get when people get really hung up on like being at the store, being a door guy, and I always just like urge people with caution, like this is not end all be all, you know?
It's not going to open up all those doors.
It's not like you get past and it's your career's made. You know, and I think people have that in their head because, like, if you only hang out in the LA scene, the Comedy Store feels like the biggest thing in the world to you.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's an interesting thing because, you know, what we were talking about in action is, you know, a non-specific person being intimidated by that stage.
Yeah.
And then, you know, kind of like overly respecting the place where, you know, you should be respecting these stages and, you know, and the audiences, but also... you know, get comfortable there.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend ask me, she doesn't do comedy, but she asked me recently, she was like, what makes a great comic?
Yeah.
And she was like, is it, you know, your broad appeal to make everybody laugh? And I think, and I'd be interested to hear what you think of that.
Yeah.
But what I said was like a great comic will take the crowd that's in front of them and do the work to make them laugh. And the only thing that's important is the people in that room.
Yeah.
At that moment. And then, you know, the people in the next room at that time.
Yeah.
Not, you know, I'm going to make, you know, everybody on the planet laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about being present. I agree. It's not about doing such broad jokes that anybody would laugh at them, because I don't think that exists, because you are trying to get the most amount of people to laugh. But comedy is about specificity and having a voice and a perspective. And I don't think that you can just write like a blanket joke that makes everyone laugh. Like the best comics to watch are the ones that read the room.
Yeah.
And they go on stage and they're still doing their material, but they can do the same joke differently every night because they're meeting the room where it's at. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's it. Yeah.
Like a really good example of this is like Amir K, who, I mean, he's just, first of all, his jokes are phenomenal. So it's easy for him to do well, but I think doesn't go in with any A, hesitations, and B, he doesn't go in with any expectations, because he's like, okay, this crowd's feeling this kind of joke. Okay, maybe I need to talk to them for a little bit. Maybe I need to do this. Like every night I'll see him and he'll just destroy, you know? And it could be like a room where everyone's like, oh, they kind of suck tonight. And then he'll go up and it's still great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Have you had a moment where you realized that in your performance where like it like clicked for you, or you were like, oh man, I didn't get that, or like a hallmark, like a big benchmark
I
moment?
think a big thing that clicked for me is I'm a very type A person, and I really, all my jokes to me are in a big list in my head, and I love a set list, and I love going by the set list, and sometimes the room just isn't ready for that. They want it to feel like you're coming up with these things on the fly. And I had a big moment for myself of like, okay, I'm going to be looser on stage tonight, or maybe I don't know which jokes I want to do, and I'll just keep them in a Rolodex in my head. And I feel like I'm much more engaged with the audience, because people crave that. They want to be a part of the show. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want someone talking at you. You want it to feel conversational for them. And I think, you know, part of that has become a problem with so much crowd work now. But the other side of that is that, like, this is people craving interaction and human connection, and being like, okay, I want to be at this show and like relate to you.
I feel like at this point I should tell you guys that I'm really attracted to magicians. Yeah, kind of my biggest red flag, you know, truly. It is. And I don't know why, like, magicians don't have any game, right? Like, I've never met a magician with Riz, you know? Like, the closest they would come to a threesome is if they cut a woman in half. You know? I think I'd be great at dating a magician, though, because I have a lot of experience with dating kind of ugly men who do a disappearing act on me. Okay, so not just me, okay?
Like, I feel confident going on stage. I used to have crippling stage fright,
Really?
which is so funny to do stand up and be like, I can't perform.
What's one thing that you did to overcome it? Or
Nothing.
to?
I was just like, I have to keep doing this until it gets
Wow.
easier.
That's
Good for
great.
you.
And just being confident of just becoming a better writer and being like, I know that joke is good, even if it's maybe you're doing a show for 2 people and it's like, all right, they're not going to laugh, but like, I know that joke is good and let me see how I can adjust my sails. When I'm driving to the show, I like to play certain songs or something like that. But sometimes.
What's one of
Yeah,
those?
what are you
We need
listening
to
to?
know.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eminem, Lose Yourself?
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Nothing
of like,
makes me more tense than that song.
yeah.
Like,
Why is it so crazy?
I don't like listening to that song. Who is that pumping up?
For me, it's like Sierra's Like a Boy. That's a good one. Don't
Yes.
laugh.
I love
Come on. Thank you.
Sierra's
Thank
Like a
you.
Boy. Dude, I
The
dig that.
in-studio crowd agrees.
It's such a fun song to sing, and also just kind of like, yeah, okay, like a little feminist power anthem. Thank you, Sierra. Such a fun song, and just has such a good cadence and beat to it.
Yeah, I love a rhythm.
Yeah, I like to get pumped up before, but I really belt in the car before I go on stage.
Yes, get pumped up,
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah.
There was a time where there was about 18 months where I was in my car, and once I would park for a show, I would just scream as much as I can. Just like
That's
let
insane.
it out.
I hope someone
Yeah,
was
it was-
walking by just like, oh my
they
God,
were.
this guy's about to perform for 10 people at a bar.
Like, what is it? Yeah, what's going on in there? One thing that's
Yeah.
unique about you is you have Bosnian parents.
Yeah.
Right? And so then in your writing, are you talking about Balkan food and like Eastern European?
What's
Delicacies?
really funny is, oh man, I'm having the last like week and a half, I've had a few like Balkan clips kind of popping off online. And I'm not
Yes.
saying that to brag, but like I'm saying that because I was really hesitant at first to write jokes about my family and my culture and stuff. Just because like, I don't know, I had a few jokes about my mom early on, and she's very shy.
Oh.
And you wouldn't think when you meet her, but
Sure, yeah.
she's very shy.
Bring her in!
Yeah.
My parents are actually pretty supportive. They're just very different. Like, my mom is this like short, sassy, redheaded Eastern European lady, and my dad is afraid of her. We all are. Actually, we have family meetings without her. And just like brainstorm better ways to tiptoe around the house. I don't know. It's kind of scary.
And so I kind of stopped doing that for a while. And then, I think she came to a show and was like, oh, okay, like I'm kind of understanding. Like I'm not the butt of the joke. I'm, part of this. And then I got asked to do these Balkan shows, and I was really hesitant to do them.
Okay.
And because I don't know, it's hard because the history of the Balkans is not awesome, to be honest. My parents came here to escape a genocide, and they were in concentration camps, and it's
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
The jokes write themselves.
Yeah. And then we've been doing these shows, and they've been so fun. But then I'm also like posting these clips and having them go viral. This is gonna sound not viral, whatever, blow up a bit.
Yeah.
This is really exciting. I'm glad we got some music going. I always try to pick a Bosnian song when I'm coming on stage, but boy, is it hard to find a upbeat pop Bosnian song, We didn't get any of the fun songs. Croatians got all the fun songs. All their songs are like, let's go to the beach, we took the whole coast, And and all the Bosnian songs are like, I drank myself to death today. Twice, and then you have to mention your Baba or Micah, it's one of those. I always know when someone's come back from the Balkans because they come back with new teeth and a fake Michael Kors bag, and I just love that. What are we doing over there, right? Everyone's in tracksuits. What are you training for? I've never seen a Balkan person exercise. What are you training for? Chain smoking? Okay. And our coffee's so strong. People have cigarettes and a coffee. I've never seen the tinier cup of coffee that's so strong. And then what do people do with all that energy? Oh, sit at the coffee for 3 hours a day. Not a thought crossing their mind.
But I was kind of like nervous about having that many people from my culture following me online because I don't want to be a Balkan comic. I just want to be myself and be a comic. And sometimes I do these jokes, but I don't want to go to shows and then have the expectation be that these are all my jokes. And then, you know, whatever, you're not Balkan enough for people. You're not this enough for people. You're too Americanized. And then you go over there and you're too, like, it's just, you can't ever win. And so there's like this pressure to do this. And I'm like, I don't want to represent anyone. I want to tell these jokes and have fun. And like, you know what I mean?
This is just an element of me that's not all of me.
Right. And I feel, you know, even growing up, like with like, you know, other Bosnian friends that I had, I didn't like, I'm never just friends with someone just because we're both Bosnian. That's not what I do. I didn't grow up around Bosnian people.
In fact, I can relate. Like if I'm from Florida, I grew up in Florida, but if I see
same thing as being Balkan.
If I see, well, if I see or sniff another Floridian, I'm like, like it's like two dogs just like circling each other, and then we bite. We bite.
There's a shared Florida culture though, for sure.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're saying, you know, if just because someone's Bosnian, we're gonna, you know, hold hands and be best friends.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I've always needed something else to kind of ground that friendship. And it's like, you know, I think a lot of people make assumptions about me. Like my parents are Muslim and stuff, but it's like, I'm not religious. And I think some people follow me and they're like, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not. Like, you don't get to project that onto me. You know what I mean? Like it's,
you know, you're a very nice person, but sometimes your comedy is described as spicy.
Yeah, it's a little spicy.
And so why, and you embrace that and you enjoy that
completely.
critique. Why is that?
Well, I've always been drawn to dark things. And I think that like, if I'm going to write something, it's like, I want to go there. And a lot of my stuff is dark, just given like the history of like how, you know, what my parents went through. And like, I, you know, feel like to me, humor is a way of dealing with things in some aspects. So I'm like, why not go there?
Have you ever gone somewhere on stage and the audience was just not with it?
They hate it. A lot of people will hate some of the dark jokes, but for me, it's sort of like, I feel like if you can't joke about dark things, like, I think you're just kind of like, you're going to be behind in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you
coping mechanism.
The people that don't like it are the people that have never gone through anything, to be honest. It's like, I hate performing in fucking Santa Monica. Like these people are rich 35-year-olds who work in tech. They've never had an issue in their life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need this, Brian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are we doing?
It's like, you look at, like, how you grab the mic, then you look out and you see a bunch of, like, tech vests, and you're like, oh, no,
Whenever it's an immigrant audience, they are losing their minds. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm like, oh, you guys got hit as kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they get it. They get it.
And they get, they've got the trauma and the scars to prove it.
I'm like, I'm not fucking around. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it.
And also, like, if people aren't getting it, like, there's a difference between a bomb where everyone's just like, like
people are afraid to laugh.
But then there's like, you know, if you're going there, then people are almost visibly angry.
Right. Or they're just, it's like this kind of like, I don't want to call it like white guilt, but kind of, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, like when I tell people like my parents would spank me sometimes, they're like, oh my God, you were abused. And I'm like, no, I fucking wasn't. Maybe you should have been hit a little bit. Like, I don't know.
You're like, no, I was a brat. Now let me slap you around.
Like,
you
do you know what I
deserve
mean?
it.
Like, I love, like, I always joke that like American kids are like so sensitive about things that like, to me is like not you know, an issue where it's like,
why would you say that?
Like, but like, you know, I always joke that like immigrant kids are like so like kind of abused by their parents, and then they're the most important person in the world to me. And then like my American friends will be like, my therapist told me I shouldn't talk to my mom anymore, and I'm like, oh, why? And they're like, she was mean to me once when I was 7, and I'm like, no, like you guys gotta stop cutting people out. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Deal with it, sit with it, face it.
Yeah.
Can you remember a time recently where, you know, you encountered an audience that was just like had not been spanked, and you needed to spank them?
They need a little spanking.
Sometimes you need to spank the audience a little bit. They'll like it after a while.
What happens is I have to give them permission to laugh, so I kind of build it into the joke now, where they'll kind of clam up on this joke that I have about, you know, hitting kids, and then I'll be like, okay, guys, we can talk about it, and I kind of build it into the joke, and then that gets a laugh, so it kind of decompresses them.
There's two types of immigrant parents. You either have parents who came here on purpose to pursue something like a career or an education, or you have parents who came here because they were fleeing something. Okay. All that breaks down to is your parents are either now doctors or they hit you growing up. You're laughing a little too hard. Yeah, don't clam up on me, you guys. When I used to tell that joke, I used to say beat, and then the Wonder Bread Whites got scared, so I changed it to hit. Should I say spank? Would that make the purebloods in the room more comfortable? Okay, great. Yeah, we workshopped a joke together tonight. That's very fun.
Cool.
Would you ever do a reality show?
I auditioned for a reality show
Which
back
one?
in the day. Real World.
Road Rules.
Real World Road Rules. Love it. I would do a reality show. I would.
Yeah.
They said he was too ugly for Love Is Blind.
I know. Yeah. Too blind.
Sorry,
wait,
that's too
the
mean.
one
I
where they
can cut
don't
that.
see you?
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah. I would.
That's truly so funny.
God, it's too ugly. No, there's got to be
Because
some
you know
bar.
that's a conversation.
They'll be able to
they're
tell
having.
how ugly this guy
Yeah.
is through the wall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Would you do a reality show? Yeah. Could you imagine like the very candid off-camera conversations that producers are having about reality contestants?
Oh yeah, they'd eat
Or-
me alive.
Or like presumable reality contestants, like this
Yeah.
person's ugly. They either need to gain 50 pounds or lose 20,
I mean,
stuff like that.
Full on. And I
Right?
think
Yeah.
that they're looking for a certain type of person to cast. Like there has to be a villain. There has to be the sweet girl next door. There has to be some like kind of love story arc or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty manufactured. So I
Oh,
think they
sure.
have to have
Yeah.
some pretty honest conversations. But I
Yep.
could not do it because I would either be like, not myself on the show. Like I would be so quiet.
Be
and
shy
just
on camera a
afraid.
little bit?
Oh yeah, I'd be so shy. I hate being on camera. I don't want to do that. Like
I hate to tell you.
yeah, no, this is being recorded.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like in that capacity, because I kind of am like, I don't know. That's very revealing and it's very personal.
Yeah.
And I don't want someone to write this story of like who I am and then have that be the narrative. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people that people love from reality TV, they love them because of the producers.
Sure. And you know what? Let's give a
Yeah.
big clap to
Yeah, yeah,
Todd.
yeah.
Yeah,
Todd
yeah.
Fields.
Yeah.
The edit. I blame it on the edit.
Well, yeah,
you
there's
have-
two layers.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the producer in the field and
Yeah.
then what I do to them.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
What
some
you do
people
to them.
say, like, RuPaul will say about, like, Drag Race that it's like, oh, don't blame the edit. It's like, you said that. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
get that to a certain degree, but, like, I think that you're not yourself. Like, when you know someone's recording you, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all my friends were trying to get me to audition for Love is Blind. And I'm like, do you guys hate me? I'm
Yeah,
like,
what is this, some
like,
You would
prank?
be great on it though.
Oh no, I would be so like I'd be so bored of everyone. I
Yeah.
would be like, okay, you're not interesting, bud. Like it's just like yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, you are very interesting. Thank you so much for joining us today. So
my
real
God,
quick,
thank you.
before we take off, two quick things. Number one, tell everybody online where they can find you on social media.
Okay. Yeah, it's Arijana Ramic on everything. ARIJANA RAMIC. Pretty easy.
Cool.
Don't forget the J, I guess.
Don't forget the J, yeah.
We've already got your Venmo. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
that.
Please send a tip. If
And-
you leave a hate comment, you do owe me money.
You know what? Love and hate are the same thing,
Yeah.
except if you're a bringer producer.
yeah. I want that to be the reel that goes.
Yeah, maybe.
Name names. Yeah.
Last thing, we were talking about the fantastic, the lovely,
Yeah.
the very funny Catbird, and she referred us to you. Is there a
Yeah.
comedian or somebody you think we should talk to on this program that you would like to
Oh my
refer?
God, yeah. There's so many. It's hard to pick. Someone I feel like who really deserves their flowers is Noah Kopfer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Noah.
I do know Noah.
But it's such a treat every time I get to see him go on stage, especially like watching like a 20 to 30 minute set of his is
Well,
really
yeah.
fun. Like, cause we've gone on the road a little bit together and he just knows how to build a set very well. And he's very dynamic and like knows how to like build the energy, bring it back down and then bring it back up. And I just really admire him. And he's so funny to me. I just love him to death. And fellow Ginger, even though this
Hey.
isn't real. And he will say something about that.
Well, you're sneaking into the meetings anyhow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ariana, thank you so much for joining us
Oh my
today.
God, thank you.
Todd from the outfield. Anything else, Todd?
I actually had some good questions, but we ran out of time
Oh,
because
we
you were
ran
such
out
a
of
great
time.
guest.
Oh my God, thank
Yeah.
you so much, guys.
Aw.
This was so fun. This was truly so fun.
Well, cool. It was a lot of fun. Please follow Ariana everywhere on social media. Thanks for tuning in. And for more exclusive content, check us out on Patreon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and see Ariana out in the wild.
Yay. Thank you.
See you next time. Bye. Funniest People You've Never Heard Of is a production of Toby or Not Toby Productions. Executive producer Todd Fields, producer and host Peter Murphy. Studio space provided by Third Wheel. Theme song written and performed by Justin Fields. Sponsored by Bamco, more than just merch. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and find us on Patreon for exclusive content.